Barron County Sheriff's Department. This is Ray.
Okay, so one person, a caller requesting an ambulance and assistance at. Yeah, but she came home and was gone and found her son on the back patio. He's unresponsive.
Okay, I think he might be dead. I don't know.
Okay, is he breathing?
I don't feel a pulse, and there's blood from his head.
Did he fall from somewhere?
Pardon me?
Did he fall from somewhere?
No, I don't know. I don't know. He's got a huge abrasion on the back of his head. Most of the blood is from his head.
Okay, and he's not breathing, no pulse?
No.
On Sunday, September 20th, 2020, police in Barron County, Wisconsin, received a frantic 911 call from a woman who had returned home to find her son, 23-year-old Garrett Macone, bleeding on the porch. She reported that he did not appear to be breathing or have a pulse. When officers arrived, they found Garrett lying face down, dressed only in his underwear, with a visible head wound. Nearby, they noticed what appeared to be blood drag marks leading from inside the residence to where Garrett's body was found. The scene was immediately secured, and police began their investigation. Inside Garrett's bedroom, they discovered a significant amount of blood and signs that the room had been disturbed, with the bed overturned and belongings scattered. Garrett's mother, Jana, informed police that Garrett had a live-in girlfriend named Devon and described their relationship as troubled from the start, expressing her suspicions. Police soon learned that Devon was still legally married to a man named Andrew Brunette, with whom she shared 2 children. Devon was unaccounted for, raising concerns about her safety. Detectives also discovered that Andrew Brunette had previously filed a restraining order against Garrett in August 2020, though it was dismissed in September. Detectives managed to contact Andrew Brunette, who appeared visibly nervous while speaking with officers. When asked if he would come to the station for an interview, he agreed, a conversation that was captured on the following video interview.
Thank you, sir. Can I please not be in custody? I'm not going to.
Because you're in your half, otherwise.
Okay, I don't know, I understand that you have your things that you need to buy back.
And we got cameras everywhere, so.
I'm just, sorry I lied. I did what I did to protect my family, and I don't want to go away for life for doing that.
You're not going to go away for life.
Oh no, I know I'm going away for the rest of my life.
No, you're not. Andy, don't talk like that.
No, I know I am. I know I am.
Andy.
I did what I did to protect my family.
Andy, don't talk like that. Andy, listen to me. I'm telling you, you're not going away for the rest of your life.
You are not.
No, you're not. Andy, listen.
Listen to us when we talk to you. Listen to us when we talk to you.
They're not going to bullshit you, man.
Andy, we've been telling you the truth this whole time. You're not going to go away for the rest of your life.
I thought you were just trying to get me to say something.
No.
We were. All right.
Come on in and sit down. I go get a piece of paper and I'll be right back, okay?
You want me to stand here with them until?
Yeah, I'll be right back. We're not lying to you. You're not going to go away for the rest of your life. It's not like that, okay? It's not like that. So go ahead and have a seat, relax. After we're done talking, it's menthol.
That's fine. I love menthols.
All right. That's all I got, though. I'll be right back. You got a statement form?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
You take. Let me know.
Yeah, you can take that off.
Thank you.
Way to walk them down.
It's okay to clean up my face. I got water.
You want water?
Oh no, I had water and I just had some left in my mustache and beard.
Oh. You want a pop?
What kind do you have, sir?
Probably just about, probably Mountain Dew, Coke, or Pepsi, one or two, and then.
I don't know what's.
You got a Fanta?
Is it like an orange?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got it.
I'll go check.
Thank you, sir.
So, now that you're in jail, we have to read you your rights.
I understand.
And then, so, let me just go through.
That black's kind of dope, though.
It's Andrew.
Brunette. B-R-U.
Right. Middle initial.
Oh, Joseph.
Okay, that's right.
Why do you keep calling me Andy?
Because your mom did. Do you like Andrew or Andy?
I prefer.
What's your birth date again?
0428 1995.
0428
1995.
95. And it is 11/26. September 20th.
Orange Crush, alright?
Yes, please.
If you're really thirsty, that'd be great too.
Alright, so like I said, we gotta read you right now that you're in jail. That doesn't change anything. You can still ask us questions. We'll ask you questions. We'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen going forwards, and this will give you a great opportunity.
I just ask one quick question.
I gotta read this to you before you
Yes, my apologies.
You understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Realizing that you have those rights, are you willing to talk to us?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to sign here as the officer. You want to sign right there, just saying that I read that to you. You understand everything on that page, right?
Thank you.
Is there anything on there you didn't understand? I'll just sign as a witness. Okay. So,
Did my mom think I did it?
We didn't tell her why we were there.
We didn't tell any of your business about anything to anybody because we wanted to talk to you first.
She doesn't even know why we were there.
She had no idea. She thought maybe it was about an injunction or a restraining order thing.
I made her think it was about drugs because we know that she's on drugs.
Right, so we kind of blamed it on her. But we wanted to talk to you first.
How'd you guys know?
Just because there's a lot of evidence there, and
When I leave?
yeah.
No, what did I leave?
We can't talk to you
about that yet.
You'll know. It'll
Right.
come out. It's just that it doesn't typically work in the way that we give information.
No, I understand. I just...
So, what we'd like to know, Andy...
You want me to tell you why I did it, and I'll tell you exactly why I did it and how I did it.
But from that point, we'd like you to start at when you got to the hospital with your child out in Minnesota. Just tell us everything that she said and did and what you guys talked about, all the way down through what led you to drive down to Garrett's house.
She continued to talk about how great it is being with him and not being with me.
Hold on one second. I gotta be able to write a little bit.
I will slow myself down too.
All right.
My fault.
So when you say, like what was she saying? Like, how was
She
she saying?
is convinced that I'm like the worst person in the world, and I mean, I took a guy's life, or I'm very sure
What?
shooting.
Why would she think that though? I mean, it seems you're pretty dedicated to your kids.
She's not a very nice person. I mean...
No, she's not, but I love her. But, I mean...
There's nothing wrong with loving the mother of your children. That's the man thing to do.
It's like I already told you guys, what I told you guys about me getting and shit like that when I was there, that's true. I wish it wasn't. That's true. And the reason I fell in love with her is because she gave me something that wasn't good, and she gave me the ability to want to live. And that's the reason it's so hard for me to let go. And I wish I could just let go. While we were in the hospital, she just... I want to work things out with her, you know, be happy. Seeing her with him pissed me off, just for the sheer fact that he threatened to kill me and my kids. She wanted me to drop it, so I dropped it. She promised she would come back with me, and she didn't. So I lied to the judge, and I told her that I didn't believe that he was the one that said it, and in all reality, he ate me up inside because I know he's the one that said it. And then yesterday, last night, she talked about how much he wants to beat the out of me and come after me. And immediately the only thing I correlated with that was, yeah, he does. He wants to kill me, and he wants to kill my kids. So I took care of it.
And when you say you took care of it, what did you...
Rounds in the back of the head, 9mm.
And describe what time you left the hospital.
6 a.m.
And did you think about this the night before?
Yes, all night. I never slept.
But what were you thinking about?
If I do it, I'm probably going away for the rest of my life. I know my kids will be safe. And I was okay to take that risk, and I was going to try and do everything in my power to make sure I didn't get caught. Because I don't want to give up any time with them. Because I love my kids with every fiber of my being.
Right, Andy, but they're going to be there for you.
No, they're not. I know I'm going to go away for a minimum 20, 30 years.
You don't know.
No, I already know that.
We deal with these cases a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
judges believe in second chances. And they also, remember I talked to you about mitigating factors? They're not oblivious to the realities of life and things that happen to people that drive them to do things. Okay?
Is there any way I can smoke while we talk about this?
We can take a smoke break.
Please, can you bring the pad? Oh, no, I'm on camera, that's why.
Yeah.
Right, we'll take...
You're on camera all the way through the day, you're on camera.
Everything is recorded.
Yeah, but
let's talk for a while, then we'll take a smoke break.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk. So, last night, you decide this is what you have to do. Tell me about what you were thinking.
I saw my daughter's hand there on the bed with cables strapped to her head. And the only thing I could think of is how vulnerable she's going to be for the rest of her life. With him still on the streets, a piece of paper doesn't protect her life.
no.
A piece of paper doesn't protect him from stabbing her while she's at school, hunting her down, her, finding her when I'm not there. A piece of paper doesn't stop that. And I took away that piece of paper for my own selfishness, because I wanted to get back with her and she told me she would. So I lied to the judge.
You're saying that Devon wanted to get back.
Yes.
You wanted to get back.
She told me she'd get back. She said if I dropped it, she would definitely get back with me. I said, okay. They didn't even show up. That's how convinced she knew I was going to not say anything. I was going to drop it. They didn't even show up. They slept in that day. They didn't even wake up until noon. Blew up their phone while sitting there waiting, trying to see if they were going to come or not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they already knew what my answer was going to be. Why the f*** would they show up? She already had convinced me.
Right.
And after I told the judge what I thought, the only thing that filled my heart was hate, remorse, wishing I could run back into that courtroom and tell her I lied. Please put this against him. As long as you can.
She manipulated you.
She has been manipulating me for 2 years. She left me during my second deployment. Started f***ing every guy she could find. Blamed it all on me. Threatened to drop my kids off at a fire station while I'm 3,000 miles away.
It's a horrible thing to do. And your parents aren't even close. They couldn't. It's not like they could just drive down the street and pick your kids up.
They're 8 hours away.
Right.
So eventually I just kind of lost it. Started imitating being somebody that I wasn't on Facebook, and basically scared her to the point to where she finally decided that, you know, and then she put herself in a situation where she was living with a child beater. And he's probably now convicted. The girl he was with, I wanted to know who he was. I was like, because this is a guy she really liked, and he was giving her a good time and whatnot. I was like, well, that's fine. We can get a f***ing divorce, but I want to know who this is.
Mm-hmm.
Talked to his ex. First thing she sent me was a picture of him beating her kid, a 12-month-old, for crying. I forwarded it to her, and she got scared. She said, I don't know what to do. He's living in my house. And I said, well, you need to tell him to leave, and if he doesn't, you're going to call the police.
Mm-hmm.
And she did. And then over the next week, she talked to me, and I was like, what do you want to do? She's like, I don't want to live here anymore. I don't feel safe in here anymore. I was like, yeah, you shouldn't. So she was like, well, what are we going to do? I was like, I already called my parents. You've got a place to stay. They're driving 8 hours south to come get you. They were willing to do that. Then when she got back, she was more concerned about partying, leaving my newborn daughter downstairs, not telling anybody where she went, just disappearing, 8 hours at a time, leaving the kids locked in a basement, just screaming and crying.
Your mom said she'd get up to get ready for work and Devon would be gone.
Mm-hmm.
No idea where she went. Kids would be down there alone.
And I was still in California. There was nothing I could do about it. This was a position she put me in.
Mm-hmm.
She took my family away from me, and she seemed awfully happy about it. Came home after, got out of the service, there was a lot of hate that I could feel coming from her. She told me the only thing that would make it work is if we got in a polygamous marriage. But I was okay with that because as long as I got to keep her, that was okay. So I let her manipulate me into a relationship that I never wanted, just because I convinced myself that's what would make me happy. She was more concerned about messaging as many guys on anything she could find than spending time with me. About 3 weeks ago, she finally told me that she had been lying to me for 2 years, that she never loved me, and she only needed a place to stay, and that was the only reason she stuck around. I asked her what about the kids, and she said, I love them, but I don't love you anymore. So then she met him at BK, and in a matter of 2 days she left. Moved in with him. She was more concerned about taking her dogs than her own children. Previous to that, I had put her into a chokehold because she just kept mentally abusing me. And I had had enough. And I went after her. And I felt horrible about it. Because I don't agree with it. I never hit her, never slapped her. I grabbed her 2 legs, I pulled her off the bed, put her in a chokehold, but not enough to do anything, just enough to restrain her. There was no intent to kill, knock out, nothing, just...
You were punishing her in your mind, you were, yeah.
I wasn't trying to hurt her. That was the last thing I was trying to do. Do I agree with the way that I handled the situation? No, and I don't think anybody should ever follow in my footsteps. I wish I would have handled it differently and just walked away. She kicked me in the ribs so hard she broke my ribs. She broke a rib. I never went and got saw for it, but I had a floating rib for quite a while. The only thing that got her to make me stop was she took my glasses off my face and just basically turned them into a pretzel. Because I was there, you know. It's not like I was not coherent to what was going on. So then about 3 weeks after that, she meets Garrett. They hit it off immediately. She's so f***ing happy. She's finally got somebody that she can replace me with. And she comes home, starts f***ing screaming at me, and I'm pissed already. I'm screaming at her. And the only thing that she's concerned about is collecting her personal possessions and her f***ing dogs and leaving them. She doesn't care about the kids. She never even asked about them. The kids were sitting on the couch in the living room. Because I didn't want them in the situation. I didn't want them to hear us yelling. I didn't want us to hear us fighting anymore. So I made sure that they were somewhere where they were going to be safe. But that entire time, she didn't ask one question about the kids. How are they doing? You know, and she hadn't been around already. And then I started noticing that Aurora was having these staring spells, and she had a seizure. And it scared the f*** out of me. My sister has had epilepsy since she was like 5. So I know what it looks like. I called an ambulance to come. They checked on her, said her vitals were okay, and they said you can take her in or you don't have to. And I was like, I'm not 100% sure what I saw. So they just opted to keep her there. So then on Friday, I came home from work. I went downstairs and I was playing with her while she was on her bed. She went into a grand mal seizure. Landed face first on the concrete. And started convulsing so hard I thought she was going to rip herself in half. And the only thing I could think about was how much I could have somebody help me right now. I'd her too, obviously. Told me she's gonna be okay. But at the same time, where the f*** is your mother? Yeah, that's right, she's with the guy who threatened to kill me and you.
So what happened that morning when you left the hospital?
What happened before?
Well, I guess it would be yesterday morning, because now well, it's not quite midnight yet.
Not quite. So, there's no clock.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes to 12.
Okay, so this morning, prior to this morning, about 3 a.m., maybe earlier, I don't know, I can't remember. She told me about how much he wants to beat up on me and how she holds him back. And I told her, you know what would happen if you tried to do that, right? She just looked at me blankly like she wanted to convince herself that he'd be able to kick my ass, but I'd kill him with my bare hands. And after she told me that, I went into blind rage, because that means that this entire time, he's been putting on a show. That was him that said that. He is the one who wants to come after me and my kids, and I'm scared. I convinced myself that the best thing I can do is to eliminate the problem, because there isn't going to be anything that's going to be quick enough. I already took away the restraining order. There's nothing else. If I keep her calling in on him, nothing's going to happen. They're just going to take her word for it. Take his mother's word for it. Except that's not who he is, but it was who he was. He threatened to kill me and my children. I have the papers at home. My mom could drop them off. I kept them, because I keep looking at him and torturing myself with them. Because I keep rereading them and trying to believe that's not the person that she chose to be with. But there's nothing else there that shows otherwise. What else is there to show otherwise? He didn't try to prove himself. He didn't even try talking to me about it. Just tried making up sap stories and shit, and then went right back to fucking insulting not only her, but me. And the fact that he's insulting her is... I couldn't understand that. Is that she's willing to stay with him, but he's insulting her. Calling her saying how nice it is to have an easy
It's just taunting you.
And eventually he brings up the fact, because my wife threatened to call the police for child abduction and kidnapping, and I didn't know that can't happen if you're still married. She had convinced me that it would happen and that I would go to jail for a long time because I kidnapped my own children. So I was staying with friends in Portage when he sent me those messages. It was 3 hours south. I drove 3 hours north that day just to prevent my kids from getting taken away from me. And as soon as I got home, the message I got from him, I'm going to kill you and those kids the next time I see you.
Was it voicemail message or text message?
Messenger.
Oh,
All on Messenger.
Oh.
And I have printouts at home still. I still have them from when I said that I didn't want to go through with it anymore.
Okay.
Because since I took it away, I just keep looking at it and realizing that I already f***ed up.
What does he go by on Facebook?
Garrett.
Okay.
So you leave the hospital this morning?
Yep.
At what time?
6 a.m.
And
6
what do you-
a.m. I start getting ready to leave.
And what do you do when you leave the hospital?
Grab all my stuff, grab everything that I'm going to need.
Okay.
Start driving down here.
Where'd you go first when you got back?
To my mom and dad's. Maybe I wanted to kind of talk myself out of it. Maybe there's another way. Maybe it doesn't need to be this way. I reread that message and I got pissed. That a guilty guy is still walking around. I went downstairs. I grabbed my daughter's clothes. I grabbed my clothes. I grabbed some spare diapers. I grabbed my 9mm. And I hid it so my mom couldn't see it. I went up to my car. I got in it. And I started driving to his place. The entire time I'm doing it, the reason I had mine and my daughter's clothes in there is because if I talked myself out of it, I didn't have to go anywhere else. I could just detour, go to the hospital, let's not do this. I kept thinking about it. Kept trying to talk myself out of it. Maybe there's another way. Maybe it doesn't need to be this way. And I got to his house. I pulled out. And he's the only one that was there.
Where'd you park when you got to his house?
Behind the sheds. So nobody could see the car.
Okay.
I went in the house, and she told me right where they slept. He was sleeping away from the door.
The house door locked?
No.
Was his bedroom door locked?
No. I opened his bedroom door, came to the back of his head, and in that moment I felt like yelling at him and telling him to just stop and fucking go away. Instead I just panicked. I was terrified. I pulled the trigger. And I didn't want him to suffer, so I pulled it again.
How many times total?
Just 2.
What happened after the first shot went off?
He was already gone.
Did he move?
No. I put it right through the center of his spinal. Right through the central nervous system.
How close were you to him?
10 yards. Standing by the corner of the door. Because I'd opened his door and I backed away because I wanted to not do it. The more I just stared at him laying there, the more that it pissed me off. That this sack of shit, for some reason, I've been having such a hard time. He's threatening to kill me, he's threatening to kill my kids.
So after you shot him the second time, what'd he do? What did you do?
I drug him outside.
How did you drag him outside?
My sheet.
The sheet that was on the bed or a different sheet? Then what?
I left. I tried to find my casings. Found one of them.
What was your gun in?
Nothing. My hand.
Just your hand? When you drug him outside by the sheets, what happened to the bed?
I flipped it while I was looking for the casings.
Was he already drug outside at that point and you went back in the house? Did you find the other casing?
No, I didn't find one. I'm assuming you guys found the other.
That's something we can talk about.
If you want to know where it is, I can tell you.
What about the plastic?
I was going to put them in my Jeep. Run away.
Where'd you get the plastic at?
Out of the shop. Nearest to the house.
When you went in the shop, what door did you go in?
The initial one. I was wearing gloves. You won't find any prints except for what are on the shelf.
When you say the initial one, what does that mean?
You come out the door, right there.
Okay.
And I was wearing gloves. Leather gloves. You won't find any prints except for on the shelves.
So when you went back into the house, was the dog out?
Yeah, the dogs were out. They didn't have anything to do with it.
Right. So
They didn't deserve anything.
Right. But they were just out and you left them out.
Yep. I just left them in the way that they were.
When you say you were gonna put them in your car, what were you gonna do with them?
That's the reason I didn't take them. What was I going to do with them?
So let me back up, and I think you already told me, but when you drug him off the bed, where did you grab him to drag
By
him?
his ankles.
You grabbed both ankles, one in each hand, and just headed for the door? And then after he was outside, you came back in?
I brought my Jeep up to the door, and I was going to try and fit him in the back of my car. I knew he would fit, but I don't know. I'd rather they know than who know. Everybody. I'd rather they just know and nobody else has to live with pain of not knowing where he is. There was a mess there, obviously. they would already know that he's probably not with the living. But I didn't want to do that to anybody.
Did you see his cell phone?
Yes.
What did you do with the cell phone?
Smashed it on the floor and I threw it out behind the house, into the woods. So it's really weird. So you come out the house, you're facing the street.
Sure.
Take a right, now you turn 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Turn an additional 90 degrees, now you're facing behind the house.
Mm-hmm.
Take 5 steps forward, turn another 90 degrees. It's a great big pine standing there.
Mm-hmm.
I whipped it like a frisbee, right to the right-hand side of that. The casing should be about 10 yards to the left.
Mm-hmm. The case for the phone, you mean?
The casing.
For the case for the shell. And then where did you go after you left there?
Back home.
To your mom's?
I got bloody. I made a mess.
Where are those clothes?
I actually don't know. I knew that I threw them in a dumpster. I don't know, and I apologize.
But
I don't know. Between
Rice Lake and Cumberland, you initially told us, and then
it's between Cumberland and I want to say Clear Lake.
Not Clear Lake?
No, it was a building past Clear Lake. No, I don't know where.
but somewhere along 63 or Highway 8.
So I'll tell you the route I took. You guys can check everything along the way.
Okay.
You'll find my sweatshirt. You'll find my pants.
Okay.
You will find my shoes.
In
and
one
a towel.
dumpster or somewhere else?
In one dumpster and a towel. It's behind some kind of a, I think, a food factory.
Deep.
Grayish blue in color. Pine trees out front. I think a gas station across the road. I didn't mutilate his body. I didn't do anything to him in that manner. That wasn't why I was there. I was just there to protect my family, nothing more. I wasn't there to degrade him any more than he already had been. I was taking care of a threat. And that was what I viewed him as to me and my children. If I could do it all over again, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be sitting here in cuffs. I'd be home with my epileptic daughter, holding her. But at least now I know she's safe. And I want to keep her from her fucking mother, because I fucking despise that woman. Everything she's put me and them kids through. I hate her for it. I'll never go after her in the same manner. Ever. Because if I do get a second opportunity, I promise to be the best fucking civilian I can be. I did this out of fear. I did this out of wanting to protect my children and nothing more. It wasn't for revenge. It wasn't for... it was for my own personal gain in a sense, but it was also for my kids. And it wasn't to get her back. It wasn't.
Just to protect your children.
That was all. Because that was all I could think about anymore as I sat there and watched my daughter get hooked up to an EEG. Watch her sit there.
Are you okay with your parents having your kids?
Of course.
That's where you want them?
Yes. I don't want them with her parents. I don't want them with her. I want her to hate herself for the rest of her life for everything she's put me and them kids through. And I don't want her away from the kids just for revenge or anything.
She's not a good mother.
She's a terrible mother. And I would never trust her to put the kids before herself. Because she's already proved time and time again that her own personal gain is more important than the kids, where I was the complete opposite. I would give up everything for my kids. And I have. I would do anything for them.
I believe you 100%.
I would continue to work a job I hate for the rest of my life, just to make sure they could have a better life than I ever did. Because that's the only thing that ever mattered to me. I always thought it was her, but it never really was. I just wanted help with my kids. I wanted help taking care of them. You know, I wanted a woman who wanted to be a mother.
Did your vehicle actually break down
Yeah.
today? Or did you just take breaks?
No, but both. It feels like the gas pump's going on. Water pump, or whatever.
Sure.
Whatever it is.
Where's the gun at?
It is... Can I use your phone to show you exactly?
You need a map?
Yes. If you could pull up Google Maps and pull up the satellite, I can show you exactly where it is within 5 feet. I can't tell you exactly where it is because I whipped it over a bridge.
What area are we talking about?
Just pull up, if you can just give me pull up Walgreens and I can go from there. It's not in Rice. It's not in Rice Lake.
Walgreens in Rice Lake?
Yeah, pull up Walgreens in Rice Lake because I'm going to drive out there mentally
Okay.
on your phone. And I can show you exactly where it is. Is that right if I stand up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's orientate ourselves. Which way's north?
Always up. Unless you spin it.
We're gonna go right there.
Okay. Did you walk it down there?
No, I threw it off the bridge.
So it didn't go in the water?
No, I heard it hit rocks.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I know you'd be able to find it. I heard it hit rocks.
It's on 25 south to south of 48, just north of 20 and a half.
That's where that is.
Okay. All right.
There's still rounds in the chambers, please be safe.
Thank you.
Not in the chamber, but in the
In
magazine.
the magazine, yeah. Okay.
And I don't know what condition it's in.
Yeah, the magazine may even have fell out when it...
Yes, so please be careful.
Okay.
I don't want anybody else to get hurt. I don't intend on anybody else to get hurt. Like I said, the only reason I did this was protecting my kids. It's not because I wanted to.
In the one casing you couldn't find, but the other one is by the phone, somewhere by the phone where you chucked it. You chucked them at the same time, or did you throw one after the other? Okay, so it's going to be close.
Yes, the gloves are also with my pants and shoes.
Okay.
They're Marine Corps combat gloves of Wiley X. Tan. With the combat knuckles.
Okay.
The inserts were removed for less drag.
Cigarette?
Gonna be the last one for a while.
No, no.
That was on the south side of the bridge?
North side of the bridge. Oh, there's even a light in here. We gotta go outside though.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna blow my nose real clear, instead of sitting here being a disgusting thing and wiping out my pants.
Did you, do some stuff for some cleaning supplies and some towels and stuff? While you were there?
No, I just, I had towels set up and I stripped outside the car to ensure that nothing would come in.
Okay.
Wrapped in the towel securely.
Did you go anyplace else in the house? Did you walk through the house at all?
Just to the bathroom to grab towels.
No, nothing out of the kitchen?
No. I wasn't there to do anything. Like I said, I was there for one reason and one reason only. I wasn't there to... I was just there to take care of a threat, in my mind. That was the only reason I was there.
And you knew he would be there alone too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see any other guns while you were there, or take
His
any?
22.
Do you want that?
Yes, please, sir.
His 22?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
He had it laying in the left-hand corner of his bedroom. So if you go through his door,
Mm-hmm.
it was in the very far corner.
So
Which is also something that she lied to me about because she told me that he didn't have any firearms.
So what did you do with the 22?
I threw it on him.
Why did you do that?
Because she lied to me and said that he didn't have any firearms. He had firearms. He had it in his bedroom, and he was more than willing to use it. So it just continues to add up to the fact that she continued to lie to me and manipulate me into giving her what she wanted so she could be happy, even if that meant threatening my children.
This, the dumpster for the clothes, it wasn't at a gas station, but maybe across the road from a gas station. But it was a dumpster though, it wasn't
An
a
actual
regular
dumpster.
garbage.
What was the name of the sanitation? It had something sanitation on it.
Do you remember what color the dumpster was?
Community
I
center?
believe green. I think so.
Yeah, they have green ones.
I think it was green. It was like, it was a weird looking dumpster. Like not your standard blue one where it's tall. It was short and stubby and extra wide.
Can we come back and talk with you again if there's anything else?
Of course.
Well, I'll get a cigarette for you if we have to do that. We can have another one before you go back too.
Is there any way I can get like a sweatshirt or anything to put on when we go outside? Something that just keep me a little warm.
We don't have anything.
That's okay. I'll suffer through it. That's fine. I just figured I'd ask.
And then if there's anything else that you think of that you think is important for us to know, just tell the jailers that you need to speak with either Hagan or Olson.
There isn't anything I can think of.
But I'm saying
It might come, something.
yeah, and 2 days from now you might think of, hey, you know what else he told me? Or you know what else she told me? Or, oh, I forgot to tell you, this is where this is, or something else.
She wants me to die. She made that very apparent. Several times throughout the past since she left me. Since she left me this time, at least 4 or 5 times a week you should go.
That's what she tells you.
Oh yeah. And only once have I ever told her that. And that was the night that I called her about Aurora needing to go to the cities. And she threatened to drive herself off the road. I told her do it. And she said, so you want the kids to grow up with a mother? And I told her they already have. They'll get over it.
And that's a heck of a thing to say to a guy when she knew your situation when you got together, right? I mean...
She didn't when we got together. I never told her. I finally told her my past when she cheated on me the first time.
Oh.
It was something I kept bottled up and never told anybody.
Your parents knew?
They don't know, and I don't want them to. Please.
No, you can tell her. Not our place.
Thank you. Because I know that, because they kept hiring her, even though I tried approaching them about it once, and they didn't believe me. And then they kept hiring her, and I accepted that I wasn't going to get any help. So I gave up and just gave into it. And then that was when the torturing got worse, because I said something. But I don't want them to live with that guilt, especially right now. Maybe it's something I can tell them in the future, but I would rather they just not know it all.
Understandable. Do you have any questions for us?
I'm trying to think. I appreciate you guys' hospitality, considering everything.
Well, we're not here to make things more difficult for you. It's already a difficult situation.
I wish I would have gone a different direction, but you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Hindsight 2020. I'm sitting here, and
Right.
But now it's the first day of the rest of your life and you can start putting it behind you.
it's true. And you told me that too. And it's not that I do feel better about letting it all come out. I'm just more pissed at myself because I let it happen. Because as Marines, we're trained to not let this ever happen, to let our capabilities never be thrown in the wrong manner. In my mindset, I was doing something that was just protecting the ones that I loved the most. And that's probably how I will view it for quite some time. Does it in my mind make me feel like what I did was right? No. I still feel horrible for what I did. And I probably always will. But I also know that he is no longer going to be able to hurt my kids. Or me.
Right.
And I find peace in knowing that. I find peace in knowing that my kids are never going to be met with a man who wants to actually harm them. Because never once have I ever wanted to harm my children, or drop them off, or say goodbye to them, no matter how hard things got. I never ever folded and was just like, nope, I can't do this anymore, I can't be a father, I just sucked it up. Whereas she was just so fucking willing to just walk out. Whenever she was met with a hard time, she always just walked out. She is a person who likes to find the path of least resistance wherever and whenever possible. She gets met with friction and she gives in to her most primal instincts, which is just to run away.
She's just a selfish person.
Right.
All she cares about is herself.
Sounds like it.
And I tried pleading with her time and time again, you know, you are being selfish. And she said, being selfish is being with you.
This is manipulation.
Right.
Me choosing to be with you is you being selfish. And I said, no, it's you choosing to be a wife and be a responsible person, be a responsible mother. I'm not asking you very much. There are hundreds of thousands, millions of people who do it every day. They would give up everything for their kids. They would drop everything for their kids. Even if it meant that it would be hard. I would drop everything for my kids. If my
That's
kids,
what a parent's supposed to do.
if my kids were sick, and they told me the only way that my kid would live is if I were to donate a major component of my body that would lead to my death, there wouldn't be a second thought. I would never hesitate. I would just say, where do I sign? Take my life so they can live theirs.
And that's a parent.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good parent. That's
But
what we call that.
she wouldn't do the same. I know she won't. I don't think she ever will.
Doesn't sound like it.
Because I've been giving her opportunity and opportunity over and over again. You can write this down. The only time she ever cared about coming to see the kids is when I told her something. When I said something about her coming to see them.
Mm-hmm.
The only time she was actually interested in coming to see us, and she reached out to me first about it, was because she said she missed us. And then she filled my ear full of lies, and this was right before the restraining order.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at what happened. Right before the restraining order, she said she missed us and wanted to come talk to me. And she said the one thing that she wanted me to do the most in order for it to work was drop the restraining order. And then after I dropped it, right out the door she went again.
It's manipulation.
Yep. Absolutely.
She knows that you'd do anything for her. So she used you to help her boyfriend out.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that too.
But you love her, so you did it.
Because I trusted her. For the 1000th time. Insanity. It is the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is to perform the same act over and over again, expecting a different result. And I went insane over her, giving her every possible choice to try and be a mother again. Every opportunity, every literally itty-bitty bit of forgiveness. And I hate what she's made me. But she's also made me a better person too. Because nobody else was there to step up for the kids. And that made me dig down deep as a man and realize what was the most important thing to me, really. What was the most important thing to me. And it was my little boy and my little girl.
Great.
I got my boy's name tattooed on me. I wanted to get it finished, but I ain't gonna have it for quite some time. I still want to get hers. But I ain't gonna have it for a while. My son's favorite thing is, he loves police vehicles. an ambulances, and so does she. Whenever they hear one coming down the road, they sprint to the window. They go, Dad, there's a wee-wee, Dad, there's a wee-wee. They admire you guys. They love you guys. His favorite toys are Hot Wheels. Every time I ever go to the store with them, since they're so cheap, I really don't care about money when it comes to that perspective. Like one or two. Every time. Every time. No questions asked. I don't care how much money I get. If it's going to put me in debt, whatever, I grab him 2 Hot Wheels. I think that kid's got at least 150 Hot Wheels. My daughter's favorite thing, any kind of a stuffed animal. Loves stuffed animals. A good friend of mine gave me 2 5-foot-tall teddy bears. And I gave those to her for her to sleep with because she used to like to cuddle with her mom. And when Mom stepped out, she had a hard time sleeping.
Oh.
So I got those teddy bears, and she started cuddling with those. She was a lot more comfortable sleeping at night. She didn't have anybody else. I'd let her try and sleep with me, but she didn't want to be with me at the moment. She wanted her mother. When Mother stepped out, Mother didn't care about her.
Right.
She only cared about herself and what made her happy, and not her own children. And that's the biggest difference between me and her, is I would always choose my children's happiness over my own. And I asked her, would she do that? And she said, and her response to it was, so you're asking me to make myself unhappy so the kids can be happy. And I said, well, yeah. And she said, well, I don't want to do that. Those were her exact words. I don't want to do that. Yes, please, sir.
All right. Andy, we appreciate you sitting down with us.
You did the right thing.
You did the right thing.
Now you can move forward.
Did the right thing by doing it, or did the right thing by coming clean about it?
You did the right thing by coming clean about it. And that will go a long way when this reports go up to the district attorney's office, and we can say, hey, here's why the guy did it. And we don't have to say, well, we know he did it, but he tried to cover it up doing this, and this. We can say, no, he called us and said, come and talk to me, and here's what happened, and here's why I did it, and here's his reason, and there you go. That goes a long way. It really does.
I know. But I also know my kids are already going to be in school. By the next time I see them.
But no, because you're going to get to visit them, and they're going to come wherever you're at, in wherever you go, they're going to come and be able to visit you. So
no, I've already missed so much of their life, and I've given up even more.
Well, the good news is they're very young.
I know, but the fact of the matter is like, the one thing as a parent, like, you guys have kids, right? Are they old enough to go to school? How happy of a day was it when you sent them off for their first day of school? How proud were you? And that's something I just gave up. That's something I can't get back. I missed the birth of my son. I missed his 2nd birthday. I was there for my daughter's birth. And then I left when she was 3 days old. And I didn't see her again until she was almost a year. And the only difference between then and now is then I could at least be there with video, call and talk to them whenever I wanted, and I gave that up. But at the same time, I only did it because I wanted to keep them safe. Because I was actually afraid for their life.
And as they grow older, your folks will tell them, your dad can't be with you right now because he did something that he thought was right to keep you safe.
I hope they view it that way. Because I wouldn't have done it for any other reason. I didn't do it for my own... I didn't do it because it made me happy. I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I didn't do it because I'm a sick, sadistic motherfucker who actually likes killing people. I didn't see an end to the madness, and I chose the route that I thought was the easiest.
Right.
And I stepped to her level, and I chose the easiest route. Definitely not friction-free. But I knew it was a permanent solution to a permanent problem. Because he had made it very clear that he didn't want the kids around at all. He says that in the messages, that it would be best if you and the kids stayed away. It would also be best if you... That it would be easier for everybody. And you can, request those from my mother. I do believe she still has them. They should be on top of... They're either in my car, or they're on top of... No, they should be in my car. They're either in my car, or they're in the garage, or they're on top of the microwave in the little kitchen.
Okay.
One of those three locations is where it is. And you guys can read through it. I'm pretty sure it's public information at this point.
We'll probably get a search warrant for his Facebook information and just get all of it anyway.
But, again, if you need to talk to us in the next couple days, 3 days, 2 days, tomorrow, whatever, just let the jail staff know that you need to talk.
Can I have two, please? No, I'm being honest with you when I tell you I didn't want to do it.
We believe you.
I'm done lying to myself. I'm done lying to everybody else that I'm okay.
You can't move forward until you pass behind you.
There are no pockets. No pockets. Just gonna tuck it in my waist belt. Because how much of a hypocrite would I be if I sat here and continued to lie and continued to put my kids through pain and continued to put my parents through pain? Then that would in turn mean that everything that I did was for nothing. Because then I am the inhibitor of that pain, right? Well, I don't want to stoop to her level.
One more thing before we're done. I think it's getting late and I'm sure everybody's tired, but...
yeah, I haven't slept in 3 hours.
I suppose you haven't.
Yeah, no. I am as compliant as I can be.
And it will be duly noted, and we appreciate it, and honestly, it's really the best way to go.
No, I know. And like I said, like, in my mind, I don't like hurting people. I'm what you would call an empath, if you know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
I sympathize with people. I love human beings. But I don't love human beings who don't love human beings.
Well, there becomes a point where every man gets pushed to a limit, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said before, that's a lot of truth right now.
That's a huge question.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just out of my own curiosity. And it's not like I'm going to judge you for your own answer. And obviously I know you guys won't care. But in my situation, how would you have gone about it differently? Or would you have gone down the same route, given everything?
I don't know.
You don't know until someone says they're going to kill your children.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, every man has his limits, and everybody's a little different. Some people won't ever commit an act of violence under any circumstances, even if their own life is at risk. Some people won't do that. And until a person is pushed to that point where they'll do it, they don't know what they'll do.
You probably didn't wake up 2 days ago thinking you would do that either.
No. I didn't think he was continually trying to come after us.
Until she told you.
Because that's all it was for the game. The game that she was in control of.
You know, she was playing like a fiddle.
She did play me like a fiddle. Until I finally broke.
Alright. We're gonna bring you back. They'll finish the booking process and they'll give you a place to sleep for the night. Any other questions? Okay.
Following his confession, Andrew Brunette was charged with first-degree intentional homicide. His admission to shooting 23-year-old Garrett Macone in the head while he slept left investigators deeply unsettled. Brunette pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, citing PTSD from his military service. But in January 2022, a jury determined that he was fully capable of understanding and following the law. He was found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide and sentenced to 50 years in prison, with no possibility of parole until the full term is served. Garrett Macone, just 23 years old, was remembered by family and friends as a warm and compassionate soul. Known for his love of the outdoors, he enjoyed fishing, hunting, and spending evenings by the bonfire. Beyond his hobbies, Garrett was deeply dedicated to those he cared about, and his happiest moments were spent in the company of family and friends who cherished his kind heart and gentle spirit.